Welcome back. I got fantastic news. They buffed every single class. Are you enjoying Pulverized Druid right now? They gave it even more damage. Barbarian as the worst class, just got every single skill buffed. And they fixed a big problem with Forgotten Souls. Because on your chase to that elusive triple masterwork, you're burning through Forgotten Souls like crazy, and you always run dry by resetting and redoing and resetting and redoing. There are more sources for Forgotten Souls now. Let's take a detailed look at the Diablo 4 patch notes that will drop on July the 15th. For our Poison Spiritborns, we have the aspect of Pestilence going up from 75 to 90%. Payback that can be used in a Thorns build gets a buff by 25%, and Razor Wings goes up by another 20% more damage. Nothing too exciting, but let's look at the Barbarian actually. Double Swing, 20% more damage. Hammer of Ancients, 60% more damage. Rend going up by a mere 15% on the bleeding department. Then Upheaval gets a almost 70% damage buff. And Whirlwind gets stronger than ever. Plus the Barb Carapace giving you more Thorns. Now, these are nice and good to see. I don't think they'll be enough to really make the core skills super pop compared to the overwhelming power of Lunging Strike Barbarian. It's simply doing hundreds, billions of damage, and the core skills, they don't multiply up that much. It's still nice to see the buff. Then for the Pulverized Druid, which is an absolute menace this season, Pulverized is going up by another 25% from 150 to 175. And the Pulverized Druid is already sitting at pit 113. Just pulverize, 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 pulverize. It's pulverized everywhere. Speed farming like crazy. My version with minimal effort and non-perfect masterworks already does 30, 40 billion damage. And now you're telling me I get another 25% damage on my main skill that propagates all the damage that goes into the poison puddle and splashes outwards? Why? I don't understand how Blizzard thought that Pulverize needs more. It's already the strongest skill. It's the number one thing. What about all the other stuff on Druid? Not that I'm complaining, but what is the philosophy behind this? That's like, we have the strongest skill that does the most damage, and we made it even more strong, so people do even more damage. Maybe to balance it towards the Sorc and the Spiritborn, or maybe try to get other unused skill upwards, or did we give up on them for this season? Probably we gave up on them. For the great stuff of the Crone, it used to formally say Claw is now also a Storm skill and casts a Storm Strike with 350% normal damage. Okay? But they made it even better, because Claw is now also a Storm skill and also casts Storm Strike. Okay, that's good, but Claw and Storm Strike deal 250% increased damage. So both just simply do more damage, and not just one single Storm Strike out of the Claw that does more damage. Bam! This brings us to the Necromancer. Currently, the Hand of Nas Archmages are going bonkers, but we also have the Hulking Monstrosity key passive. It used to say your golem has 40% increased maximum life and deals 100% increased damage. But we get a bonus to it. Skeletal Mage and Warrior Sacrifice bonuses grant an additional 35% golem damage. Your golem already does billions of damage, hundreds of millions. It's quite amazing. Now you get 35% more per sacrifice. That sacrifice bonus is now from 35 up to 60%. Both sacrifices leading to 70% more damage. Now it's 120% more damage. And technically, these golem sacrifice bonus should get boosted by the sacrificial aspect. That says your sacrifice bonuses are increased by 54%. On a 200 weapon, that would be by 100%. This would technically have your Skeletal Warrior sacrifice give us 31% increased shadow damage and more with a sacrificial bonus or resistance or critical strike chance. And for our mages, we would do immense more damage against vulnerable enemies. That would then lead into our blood golem that does triple damage against single targets. Also get that 60% increase, 120% up to 240% more damage from the Hulking Monstrosity. Plus the 100% damage in itself, so 340% multiplicative bonus damage on that golem. Leading to a technical super speed farm golem build that we can do from the 15th on. We will investigate as soon as the patch drops. For Rogue, they're still tinkering with a death moss of Nomatruck that does not seem to have any place in anything. They tried to increase the damage bonus from 70 to 100%. I don't think that will make it being played. And the Breaknet's Bandist Aspects gets a 10% damage boost. That seems shallow. For the Sorc, we get a Meteor increase. Impact damage increase from 120 to 140%. Dankeschön. Then the aspect of the Frozen Orbit gets another Frozen Orb damage by 20%, as the aspect of Frozen Memories has the Avalanche vulnerable damage bonus increase from 75% to 100%. And let's be real here, Sorc's other skills need tremendous buffs to even remotely compare to Hydra. My character, not even 10 hours old, is like speed farming pit 70s in almost a minute. We're sitting at pit 90. I can scale the power vastly further. I mean, you pretty much get your Ophidian Iris as a Hydra player and you outscale everything. You have the best power curve in existence so far. And every other Sorc skill cannot even remotely come close to that. And I've seen some Lightning Spear tries and they're still good. And Blizzard is also still fun to play. But the effort you have to put into Blizzard to even remotely get to Torment 4. Whereas Hydra Sorc puts on Ophidian Iris and pretty much just Ohio Torment 4, I'm here. We need significant more buffs. That's what I would wish for to get all the other skills up, but I think we'll have to wait for Season 10 for that. General changes to Season of the Horror Dream. Arcana will now be picked up automatically. Hail Mary. Late into the season, but if people start playing now, they don't have to worry about missing Arcana. Then, Myriad Stone now grants temporary attack speed and stacks additively alongside sources of permanent attack speed. Myriad Stone is a jewel. After you cast your Catalytic skill, if it's an ultimate, gain 30 plus attack speed for 10 seconds. I would reckon with the change of this now granting temporary attack speed, it will add on top of having 100% attack speed, because there's an attack speed cap number 1 and an attack speed cap number 2. The attack speed cap number 1 being all your bonuses you get from rings and your Paragon board. And then the attack speed cap number 2 would be your temporary bonuses. Like if you actually pick up the aspect of Acceleration giving you 30% more attack speed, that stacks on top of 100% attack speed. Could make the Myriad Stone interesting. For Nightmare Dungeons with Equipment Delve affix, Horadric Artifact channel times has been reduced. That's good because it takes too long. Additionally, the channel can no longer be interrupted by damage. Dankeschön. You just walk up to him. Voop, 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 voop. Good. Then, general fixes to the game. You now get more Artificer Stone, that you really never run out of Artificer Stone, because people have been complaining that when they're actually farming the high tier pits, at some point they might run dry, especially if they fail their runs by trying to push higher. Completion rewards for Legion events now include more salvage materials and Forgotten Souls and Torment difficulties. People run out of Forgotten Souls because Forgotten Souls are used for everything, especially for the masterworking of then resetting and remasterworking and resetting and remasterworking. You just burn through them like there's no tomorrow. Horadric Chests in Nightmare Dungeons with the Material Reserve affix get you Forgotten Souls too. Haha. The Forgotten Wisdom affix for Nightmare Dungeons has been adjusted. Modes will now split experience between party members. The maximum amount of modes gets increased, and the modes give more experience. That's beautiful. And they will no longer drop in strong rooms, so you don't have to chase them down in strong rooms. What do you think about the patch? Was it enough? In my humble opinion, no. Because every single core skill of every single class should be at least Torment 4 viable. It should be at least able to kill Belial. I don't see why we struggle so much to have these skills work. Sure, they just nuked Overpower. That means Blood Surge on the Necromancer needs at least 8 times the base damage it has currently. But worst case scenario, just give it a try. If it overperforms, dwindle the numbers down. But not being able to use 1, 2, 3, 4 of your core skills, and that across all the classes as actual viable builds, is plenty sad. And that paired together with all the useless uniques we have right now that are absolutely undertuned and don't fit into the new reality. I know we want new content, but at the same time, there's so much old content that still needs a pause over, that needs to get updated, buffed, put into the new reality. Values need to be quadrupled. Yeah, please Blizzard. Yes, new content, but maybe dedicated team of actually checking what your old content does, because that one is just falling further and further behind. Uniques that haven't been relevant for over a year are still not relevant, and I don't know why they're still in the game, including the Melted Heart of Selling Mythic. We'll see. I mean, we have hopes for expansion number 3 and the future of Diablo with Season 10, but tell me in the comments below. And also, check out the Druid and a Blight Necromancer, both absolutely going bonkers. Enjoy.